It's now time to shine a light on the youngest victims among us, our children. New doorbell video has been released showing the night a 5-year-old boy was abandoned searching for help. This was on a cold night in February in a neighborhood about 30 minutes outside of Cincinnati, Ohio. Thomas Adkins can be seen, there he is, the 5-year-old, walking up to a house, his jacket unzipped before wandering off. The little boy has autism, and the authorities say he had trouble communicating. Now, another man ended up spotting him and calling the police, thankfully. Our affiliate WCPO has more on the story.
Cold, wet, and alone. A 5-year-old wandering Colerain Township by himself on a wet night in February. His name is Thomas, and a Ring camera in the area captures him looking for help on someone's front steps.
And I just seen him on the side of the highway, and I'm like, oh my God, it's a little kid.
It didn't take long for Colerain officers to respond, body cameras catching every moment.
We got him out of the street and talked him to go into the car. Hi. He's not real responsive.
It was the car of driver Ron Reese who happened to see him alone and jumped into action.
Once he seen that it was somebody there, some people there to help him, he began to relax a little bit.
Police and paramedics jumped into action too, getting him physically checked out.
We definitely need some dry clothes and get out of that stuff.
Thomas was put in a police cruiser and taken back to the station where an officer began to run down any leads by phone, asking the young boy for clues along the way.
You want your mom or you want to go home? Home?
Yeah.
Yeah? Where's home at? You don't know?
Meanwhile, an officer stayed near where he was found to go door to door.
Is there a child that lives here, maybe 6 to 8 years old?
Eventually, it was determined the young boy belonged to Heather Adkins, who's since been arrested. Police say Adkins had abandoned him and fled 90 miles away to Georgetown, Kentucky. She's now in a Hamilton County jail awaiting trial on charges of kidnapping and child endangerment. When we spoke with her behind bars, she gave us this explanation.
She has ran out of cash, and I had to go forward to help.
The mother, Heather Adkins, as you just heard, says she dropped off Thomas so she could go find gas. Remember that part, because we're going to talk about the mother's motives in just a minute. The police were able to track down his mother with the help of neighborhood security cameras and a description of the vehicle that dropped him off. Thomas is now safe in the care of a foster home. Still with us, attorneys Nima Rahmani, Alicia Dern. I want to get your thoughts on this, but I want you to have one other piece of information. Do you know that she had 2 other children, ages 3 and 8. She actually took those 2 children to a childhood friend's home in Tennessee. So why? Let me start with you, Nima. And what do you think when you hear, oh, she took her other 2 children to safety, but she abandoned the 5-year-old on the side of the road?
Yeah, she abandoned the 5-year-old with special needs. So we know why she did it. She couldn't take care of him. So incredibly sad case. I don't buy her argument at all. And, you know, I don't do any defense work, but I'm sure the viewers that do are cringing hearing her make statements to law enforcement and to the media that are going to get her hammered if she actually takes this case to trial.
All right, Alicia, your initial thoughts when you hear about what happened to this 5-year-old?
I'm furious. I do a lot of work with special needs children and their rights, and it is obvious to me that she couldn't care for him, and so she just dumped him. And there are resources. If you can't take care of your special needs child for whatever reason, emotional or financial, there are resources with Child Protective Services and other social services to help you with that. It is absolutely inappropriate to drop off a child that small, especially one who's nonverbal or not very verbal, in the winter before strangers. And that's going to create trauma and problems for that child throughout his life. It's just awful.
And you know, some people say it's too hard to figure out what the services are and with special needs, but let me say this. I'm going to suggest that had she taken all 3 of her children to her friend in Tennessee, that friend in Tennessee could have figured out a way to get services for the 5-year-old special needs child. Let's listen together, because this mother, all right, everybody, this is not something you want to miss. Let's listen to another reason she gives for why in the world she would have just abandoned her 5-year-old.
No, I didn't leave him with anyone.
I'm just trying to understand
why you ultimately chose to do that.
To save him from me.
All right, that was it. To save him from me. That's what she says the reason is. Nima, let me start with you. Better to abandon a 5-year-old in the middle of the night in the cold outside, or physically hurt or harm because you can't handle it?
I mean, they're both terrible, but really, I mean, someone does need to save this poor young boy from his mother. I mean, our laws are meant to protect, you know, our children, and the most vulnerable children are those with special needs. So in the cold winter of Ohio, to abandon her with a stranger, abandon him with a stranger when he could have died, something horrible could have happened to him. I mean, she's someone that doesn't deserve custody of any of her children, frankly.
Well, and it sounds like an excuse to me, Alicia. Well, I was afraid I was going to do something to him, so I decided it was best to push him out of a car and leave him on the side of the road. Really, to me, it sounds like a pretty weak excuse for abandoning and committing a crime against your 5-year-old child.
Not only is it a weak excuse, but that is doing something to him, because he could have been killed, could have been hit by a car, he could have frozen to death, he could have been picked up by a stranger who could have victimized him. So that is doing something to him. She didn't have to raise her hand to him to abuse him, and that's what she did. So no, I don't buy that excuse at all. If you have trouble with your children, you can't find social services and you can't figure it out, you can always call the police and they can help connect you. It's not that hard to call the police.
Alicia, what a great point you made. You can always call the police. And to your point, it is true. Neglect of a child, abandoning a child, is a crime as well. It's not just physical abuse or sexual abuse. It's neglect and abandonment as well. All criminal. Don't do it to children. Report if you see anything.